Well, hello friends. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And today we are going to film Flosstube number 45. And for any of you who are new here because of my Victober reading content, I also film cross-stitching, crafting videos that will be under the name Flosstube. So if you are not at all interested in watching my crafting content, totally understand. There will be more booktube content coming up because I am out of my reading slump. Thank the Lord. And I have some good plans for 2026, reading wise and all that stuff. So, you know, keep subscribed and all that stuff if you are not a Flosstube watcher, because yeah, I do plenty of things on this channel. But if you are one of my Flosstube friends, welcome. And I have been sadly kind of gone from the Flosstube world for the last couple of months. I think my last actual update was in July. So I still have my August update to do and my September update to do. And that's what I'm going to do today. I have one start and finish, a new start and finish. And I have worked on, I think, 7, 8 projects since I last came to you with a Flosstube update. But here's the caveat. I'm not going to be showing you everything today because a couple of the things that I worked on in September, I have carried over into October, which is now, as you are, if you're watching this in real time. And I want to get back into my groove of doing monthly updates. So I'm just going to wait until the end of the month to do that for you. But that being said, if you are watching my Victober vlogs, if you are also a reader and you like those, I do throw in some pictures of what I've been working on and the progress that it's getting. So it's not going to be a complete surprise to you if you watch those, but if you don't and you're just waiting for my Flosstube updates, I plan to do one of those at the end of the month. So it is the 12th of October as I'm filming this, and I'm off today for the Columbus Day, Indigenous Peoples Day holiday. So I just kind of decided this is the best time I have to work on or to do this Flosstube update. So I just kind of came up here and started filming. So there's probably going to be some cuts while I open bags and get out the next project so that you don't have to sit through all that. So this is not going to be one of those nice floss tubes where, you know, they just continuously go the whole time with no editing. That is not me. That is not who I am. So there's definitely going to be some edits here. And also nothing is ironed. So I used to be that girl that would iron everything before I filmed, but no longer. So if that bothers you, I'm sorry, but that's just not going to happen. So if I had to wait till I ironed everything, we would never have a Flosstube update. So I will do that for my beginning of the year whip parade, but that's about it. So, all right. Anyway, let's get started with the last 2 months of stitching. So one of the reasons I didn't come to you at the end of August is I only worked on 2 projects in August, and it was just a low stitchy month, I thought, although it's about average stitching, or stitch count wise, to what I have been doing the rest of the year. It's just kind of been a low monthly stitch count year for me. But being that I only worked on 2 things, I didn't buy anything, so I didn't have any haul. I didn't finish anything because I only worked on 2 things. So I just was like, I don't really have anything to share, that would take up a whole floss tube. So that's why I just didn't. And then I totally meant to in September, but I didn't. So in August, I did a total of 4,551 stitches on 2 projects. My original goal was to try to get a project done, but that did not happen. So that project, which I will show you because it's just kind of a continuous daily project, semi-daily, until I can get it done. And that is Sugar Plum Dreams by Lindy Stitches. Here's what it will look like when it's done, more or less, because I did screw it up a little bit, so there's been some fudging involved. But here is where it is now. So, according to Pattern Keeper, right now, I am at about 75% complete. I forgot to look that up before I started filming, but it's almost done. So my goal now is I want to get this done by the end of the year at the very latest. I would actually like to get it done by the end of October. So stay tuned to see if I actually do. And it's possible if I stick with it. So in August, I did the most on this one. I did a total of 2,573 stitches. And in September, where is that? In September, I only did 758. So that was when I started getting a little burned out on it. So I put it away for the rest of September. But it's back out now. So I really love it. And the part that I said that I screwed up was the horse, and you can't really tell. It looks fine, but I don't know what happened. But I tried to like outline the horse and then fill it in, and I screwed up on the outline somewhere. I should know better than to even try to outline anything that is big stitching like that, because I almost always mess up when I try to outline something. So I should just go by 10 by 10 blocks for stuff like this, and not try to tempt fate. But it's not too bad. It doesn't look bad. And I just have to like fudge some placement. Like you can tell, well, maybe you can't tell. Hopefully you can't tell, but the leash like that is going over to the Christmas tree is kind of wonky because I don't know, the horse's head is too high or something, and I had to like kind of weave it down in to the Christmas tree where it was supposed to be. So it's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. It will get done, and it will look fine, and it will look lovely, and I hopefully can get it framed in time for Christmas. That's the plan. And the only other project that I worked on in August was Beatles Collage by Stitches So Beautiful. Artwork is by Tammy Gross, I believe is her name. The Beatles are one of my favorite all-time bands ever. And so when this came up on the newsletter one time, I was like, oh, must have it. So I decided to participate in Stitches So Beautiful's Facebook challenge in the month of August. So that is why I made sure to make this like my focus project for the month. I think at the time, I think it still is. I think now you have to do at least 250 stitches a week, and I'm pretty sure I surpassed that within a couple of days every week. I did 1,978 stitches over the course of the month, and I should probably have a picture of where it was the last time you saw it. Hopefully I can find that in my camera roll to show you. And then here is where it is now. So really not a whole heck of a lot has changed since that first picture. But yeah, it's a lot of background. I was trying to see if I could get to the sun, but it's too far away still. So this apparently is going to be a big piece. I'm pretty sure that this is on 28 count, Easy Grid, probably Lugana. That's what I had written down anyway, that it was 28 count. So I guess I could count them and make sure, but I'm not really that into that. But so it's small stitches. So I'm doing it 1/1 full cross. So yeah, and I'm liking the coverage of it. It's really easy to do. It hasn't been a whole lot of confetti yet, except for sometimes, obviously down in this tree, it's a little confetti heavy, but it's really not been too bad of a stitch yet anyway. We'll see once I get to more than just sky and tree how the confetti is, but that'll probably be a little while. So that's already August done. See why I didn't really film in August? I guess I could have put it into like another like reading chat, and I might do that in 2026. I'm kind of working out how I want to do my stitching and my reading and everything in 2026, so there might be a little bit more combining of all of my hobbies into monthly recaps, but I'm still working out all those kinks. So, and seeing how that's gonna go. But so that's August already. So September definitely had a lot more projects. So let's move on to September. So we're going to get my start and finish out of the way first. I have been working on the Patriotic Typeface by, Emma. Ooh, I'll put it up on the screen somewhere. I had it in my head. Emma? Something Emma. I can't remember. Anyway, I've been doing these patriotic typefaces with my friends Leanne and Alicia. Leanne is from Small Town Stitches and Alicia is from Adventures of Stitching. And we have decided we're going to work on one every other month until they're done. And we finished our second one, started and finished our second one in September. I'm using my notebook that my notes are in for this. Okay, so this is Uncle Sam. And yeah, I think he turned out so cute. Now, I did also screw this one up. His face is one stitch too big, but you really can't tell. That's pretty much, I just fudged it the rest of the way and it turned out fine. The only thing on the black, which is kind of weird to me because the pictures on there are in black, but the really dark deep blue, you can barely tell it's there. And actually his coat was supposed to be that same dark blue color, but I changed it to the lighter blue because I was like, you're never going to see that. And yeah, looking at it in the viewfinder, I really can't really tell that it's not black. So yeah, that's a little weird, but it's so little, who cares? So in this one, I actually centered it a little bit better. If you remember, here, we'll hold up from the sky. I'm trying to keep my place in my notebook, so that's why it's a struggle. But yeah, you can see like I totally did not center this one well at all, but this was the one that I finished in July. So yeah, they're really cute and they are really easy stitches. Obviously, I got them done in 1 month. The last one that we're going to do is the eagle, and it is going to be in November because in November in the United States, it is Veterans Day. So that is kind of how we determined when we were going to do these stitches. All right, you might have seen a weird cut just then because I started having a conversation with myself about a project that I am pretty sure was not the right month. And I started wondering why I didn't write it down on my sheet. Yeah, I think I got all of my months kind of screwed up there. So there might have been a cut there to try to like alleviate all that confusion. So I believe that this one was done in July. Yeah, it was, because I worked also on Freedom by Stitches So Beautiful, which is also a Statue of Liberty piece. And then we did this one in September for September 11th. Okay, so yeah, now that we're clear on that, because you guys really cared, didn't you? All right, so that was my start and finish for the month of September. And now we're just gonna work down through all the whips I did. Sorry, I just had a phone call, so it interrupted my filming. So where were we? Okay, so September's whips. I showed you my finish for September, but I did work on 7 things. But I already showed you Sugar Plum Dreams by Lindy Stitches, and there are 2 projects that I'm not going to show you because I am currently working on them in October too, and typeface is finished. So really, I only have 1, 2, 3 more projects to show you. So this will probably be a pretty quick floss tube, even though it encompasses 2 months. Oh well. So so anyway, the total stitches that I worked on in September was 4,749. So really just a few more stitches than August. And yeah, that's all, because I told you I worked on 7 projects. I don't know why I worked on 7 projects. I don't really remember if there was some kind of game I was doing. The first thing I worked on was Quick Stitch Grand Library Fire by Heaven and Earth Designs. Artwork is by Amy Stewart. It's a crop basically of the larger Grand Library pattern. That's like all the bookshelves and things that various people on Flosstube are working on. Leanne from Small Town Stitches had gifted me the Quick Stitch version of it. I don't know why they call things quick stitches. This is not. This is like 400,000 stitches or something like that. That is not a quick stitch. I should have a picture of where it was at the beginning of September, hopefully. And then here is where I got to. So I got a fairly good amount done. I got 513 stitches. I think, whoa, I think I worked in a bunch of my part threads up here, and then I started working down here, and I like filled in a lot here. So yeah, with these huge pieces, even when you get like 500 and some stitches, it's like a drop in the bucket. So it really doesn't look like much. I forgot to check my percentages, but I think I got to my next percentage, which I think is only like 3%. Might not even be that much. If I think about it in editing, I will put where I am now percentage-wise on the screen. So, but yeah, coming along nicely, but this is definitely a legacy project because I don't think I'm getting this puppy done anytime soon. And I think I'm pretty sure, although again, I don't have it written down anywhere. I'm going to have to go through my old Flosstube videos. But I think this is 28 count again, 1/1 full cross. So on 28 count, I am going to have to start using my magnifiers. And, when I get to be really, really old and have no eyesight at all, who knows? This thing might never get done. But I'm going to give it a good go while I still have decent eyesight. And the next thing I worked on is Anne of Green Gables, also by Heaven and Earth Designs and Amy Stewart. This is also a quick stitch, and it's a lot more manageable than the other quick stitch I just showed you. It actually might be more of a quick stitch. And also I have additionally cropped it to crop out a lot of that tree that's on the one side. So I think I ended up making it into a perfect square. So that, or maybe a little less than a perfect square. I don't really remember, but I cropped off like maybe a page worth down the side of the of the big tree because I'm like, nobody needs that much tree. And then here is where it was at the beginning of September. And here is where it is now. So I definitely know that I worked on some of that really like ecru color, really light ecru color. So it's kind of hard to see, but I'm trying to, when I work on this project, I'm trying to kind of mix it up a little bit and work on at least some of the white ecru color and, you know, some green, some of the top part that is another color other than green. Yeah, so I think I worked a lot on that second window there. So it looks really good though. This is one of those projects that when it's really close up to you, I don't think it looks good, and I'm kind of like, the oh, what it like the detail, like in the window and stuff doesn't really come through, and I'm like, oh, you can't really even tell by the tree that that's the window. But then I show it to you here, and I'm like, oh, I can very distinctly see the tree and the window. So I don't know. It's just one of those things that it's hard to tell when it's close up to your face in real life, but it looks really good right now. So I'm very happy with it. And I don't know, originally I was going to try to make this a focus on a finish next year, but I've started to look at that and see how many stitches I have on all my full coverage. I don't think that's going to happen, but I do have some plans that I will talk about probably next month for 2026. And I think that'll at least help me to put more progress into all of my full coverage stitches while still getting some finishes on other things. So stay tuned for that. And the last thing I have to show you is Welcome to Rivendell by Country Magic Stitch. I am working on this with Leanne and Alicia, and we are all in varying stages of completion on this. And I think this one might have a potential to get done in 2026, but I have to actually work on it a little bit more. But that's going to be a project, I think, for after Sugar Plum Dreams is done. And I think this might become my daily stitch project for the rest of the year. I'm not sure yet. I'm still I have to see when I actually finish Sugar Plum Dreams, and hopefully it'll be by the end of October. But anyway, so Rivendell, this is what it will look like when it's done, and this is what it looked like at the beginning of September, hopefully. And here is where it is now. Now, I think a lot of the problem for me of why I don't want to work on this is I really, really do not like the detail of this, and I don't know why it is. I'm using the colors that Country Magic Stitch, provides, but you just really cannot even see it. And I honestly, when I even look at it in the viewfinder, because you know how I just said sometimes the detail doesn't come out till you're looking at it at a different angle, but it looks even worse here. So I don't know, guys. Part of me just wants to scrap this and start over again with like a different, I don't know, a different color for that. But also, I've done so much on it already. I hate to do that. So if you have any suggestions on what to do to fix this without restarting it and without frogging, because that would be really difficult, I think, to frog all of the, like I'll try to bring it in so you can see it, but like all of this like really light taupe color, that's the color I don't like. But like, could I stitch over it in a different color and not have it look weird? I just don't know. But I just really am not happy with that. So I don't know. What would you do, guys? because it just really doesn't look good from like a regular distance. I don't think it looks good at all. So I think this is why I haven't wanted to work on it, because that's just really discouraging. So yeah, let me know your thoughts on what you would do with this. Should I just scrap it? Should I try to fix it? If I should try to fix it, what should I do? Does it not look as bad as I think it looks? I don't think you can tell me that it doesn't look as bad as I think it looks, because it looks pretty bad. And even so Leanne, if you look at Leanne's, she used CXC floss. So hers looks fine. Her taupey color, whatever, looks fine. Alicia's looks slightly like mine. It's a lot harder to see, but even hers, I feel like, looks more defined than mine does. So I don't know if my skein of floss was mislabeled and it's not even that color. I don't know. Yeah. This is a depressing one to end on, because I'm like, oh, it looks even worse. Dang it. All right, we're putting it away. We're going to talk about happier things. I have a little bit of haul that is cross stitch related, but not much. It's not going to take long. So Leanne surprised me and gifted me a new pattern, which I need a new pattern like I need a hole in the head, but it was so pretty that I'm so glad she gave it to me. And she also gifted it to Alicia. And I believe that we are going to have a end of the year new start. So I need to get some other things done, or else my head will explode with having too many whips, full coverage whips. But I think I can handle one more full coverage new start, especially if I can get a couple of smaller things done this year. And especially if I end up scrapping Rivendell, then I'll have less things. I just hate to do that, but okay. Anyway, so Leanne gifted me the pattern. I always want to call it Hidden Valley, but it's not a ranch dressing packet. It's Happy Valley? Happy Valley by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I forget who the designer is, but I will put it below somewhere. But isn't that pretty? I love that so much. I'm excited to start it, but it also is going to be huge. So I actually bought which I forgot to bring that up, but it's just a piece of white fabric. It's not exciting, but I bought 36 count fabric, and I'm going to try to do, I think Alicia said she does one strand tent stitch on 36 count fabric. I think that's what she said. Alicia, tell me if I'm wrong there. But I'm thinking of doing tent stitch on this one, and either 2 strands or 1 strand. But I think she said 1 strand, which I was very excited about because I like 1 strand. And I do like tent stitch as long as it is decent coverage. So, and I do use DMC. So sometimes the coverage is not super great, but I am not switching. I'm sorry. That is not my, I'm always going to use DMC. I have a master set now. I know it's getting expensive, but with a master set and only using 1 strand on most of my projects, I feel like I can make it last a long time. So just having to buy a few skeins here and there, it is not worth it to me to switch to CXC. But I wonder if that is going to affect my coverage on this one, but we will find out. We'll find out. So that is my happy mail from Leanne. Thank you, Leanne. I'm excited to start it. Yay! And then the only other purchase I made besides the fabric that I didn't show you for Happy Valley was Naptime Stitchers 2026 cross stitch planner, and I already printed it out. I got the American Colonial set, and I printed this this cover pattern on there, but I printed it. It comes in an 8x10 or 8.5x11 a letter size sheet, but I printed it on half letter. So I mean, it's not as like flush. Is that the word, flush? Because the paper I have, I think this is half letter, but then there's some setting on my printer that calls it statement, and I'm not sure. It looked close to half letter, but I don't know if it actually is. But so see, like these kind of things on the full 8.5x11, this border would be, flush to the top. But on mine, it's not. But that doesn't bother me at all. So let's see. So it comes with, I only printed out the first quarter, and I printed them double-sided. So like here's the January's calendar page. Yeah, I was trying to convince myself to go completely digital, but I have realized that even though I have my iPad with me a lot, I just don't digital plan like I would like to, which is kind of sad because I got my iPad mini specifically because I was like, oh, I can use that as my digital planner, but I just don't ever really do that. But I do use my iPad mini, but it's just not for that function. So at least, I mean, it wasn't a total, terrible purchase or anything, but yeah, I'm just a paper girl. I like paper, and I just have to embrace it. And not spend other useless money on digital products that I'm not going to use anymore. So so it has a nice back cover, and I haven't punched holes yet because I haven't decided if I'm going to use a disc system for this, or I have a clear six ring binder that I bought for my prayer journal, but I have a second one because it came in a pack of 2. So I might use that and do a 6-ring binder system. So we'll see. I haven't decided yet, but I figured I'd just wait on it. If I use the 6-ring binder, I'm going to have to cut this half letter size down a little bit, but I've done that before, so it's not going to be a big deal. And I don't think I'm going to cut anything off because there were a bunch of pages that it wasn't flush anyway. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this out. The only thing I did notice, I'll have to go back into her shop, but I didn't see where these cross stitch planners had any like whip pages where I can like put a picture of my whip and like when it started, like kind of like the project page thing. So I'm wondering if that's a product that is sold separately. So I'll have to go back on her Etsy shop and look into that. But I totally would purchase that if I needed to, because that's part of the thing that I like about having a cross stitch planner is having all of my whip information, in a binder kind of thing. So that's probably something I will do. If not, if she doesn't have anything like that, every month comes with note pages. So I would just turn these into whip pages. It's no big deal. So I'm semi-crafty, so I can make that work, whatever. So that's it. I don't have anything else to show you. And yeah, hopefully I am doing some big projects, which, I mean, if you watch any of my other content this month, you'll know I am working on Minnie the Library by Heaven and Earth Designs. That is always my October project for Victober, which is a Victorian readathon that I do every month. I participate in every month. And that is my Stitch and Listen project. So I will listen on audiobook to a Victorian novel and stitch on Minnie the Library. So I'm getting lots of progress on her this month. And I mean, depending on how much I get done on her this month, she may be a contender for being a focus project for at least 2027, getting her done. I have I have some maybe more specific plans for 2026, but 2027, I'm hoping to get some of my whips whipped down. So she is definitely going to be in the running for that because it's really becoming one of my favorite projects to work on. I just love watching the woman come alive. Like there's just a lot of detail in it, even though it's a mini. I just feel like there's a lot of detail in it, which is great. So yeah. So that's all I've got to talk to you about today, friends. Let me know, how is your October stitching going? Are you working on Halloween? Are you also participating in Victober with me and working on something like old-fashioned-y, like a sampler even, or something reading related? Yeah, let me know all the things. So I just realized why I was working on all of those whips in September, and a lot of them were reading related things because it was for Leanne from Leanne Stitches. It was her birthday month, and she did Story Time September. I totally forgot that that's why I was stitching on Grand Library Fire. That's reading related. It's a big book, and reading by a fire. Anne of Green Gables, a book. Um, what else? Oh, I worked on Mini Library, but I'm not showing that to you yet. Rivendell, a book, Lord of the Rings. Um, and I guess that was it. Yeah. But that's why I was working on those. I'm such a moron. On that note, I'm going to go, and I will talk to you hopefully soon in my next Flosstube update, which hopefully will be at the end of October. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye.